What if the history you learned in school is a carefully crafted lie? What if ancient civilizations, with knowledge and technology that rival our own, were deliberately erased from the record? Right now, as you're listening, ruins across the globe whisper secrets science can't explain, secrets some powerful forces might want buried. Welcome to Lost Civilizations Reborn, ancient worlds science still can't explain, brought to you by historical cover-ups. Hit that subscribe button, grab a notebook, and let's dig into the truth they don't want you to know. Are you ready to unravel the greatest mysteries of our past? This is Historical Cover-Ups, and today, we're diving deeper than ever into 5 ancient civilizations that shatter the history books. The Khmer Empire of Angkor, the Indus Valley, the Maya, the builders of Göbekli Tepe, and the Rapa Nui of Easter Island. These societies built wonders that defy modern engineering, then vanished, leaving clues of advanced knowledge, catastrophic collapses, and, just maybe, deliberate cover-ups. Why do their stories feel censored? What truths are being hidden? Let's expose the secrets together. Picture a city lost in Cambodia's jungles, so massive it could rival modern Tokyo, thriving over 1,000 years ago. This is Angkor, the beating heart of the Khmer Empire, from the 9th to 15th centuries. At its peak, Angkor was a megalopolis, possibly home to 1 million people. Wrap your head around that. 1 million people in the Middle Ages, in a place with temples so breathtaking they make you question everything. Angkor Wat, the largest religious monument on Earth, is the crown jewel. Its towers align perfectly with constellations like Draco, tracking solstices and stars like an ancient observatory. Its walls are etched with epic tales of gods, kings, and cosmic battles, bas-reliefs so intricate they'd take generations to carve. Beyond the temples, Angkor's water system was a marvel. Canals, reservoirs, and massive barrays, artificial lakes the size of small seas, that kept crops thriving through brutal monsoons. This wasn't just engineering, it was pure genius. But here's the mystery that keeps us up at night. Around the 14th century, this vibrant city vanished. The jungle swallowed it whole. Homes were abandoned, temples left to crumble, and Angkor faded into myth until French explorers stumbled upon it in the 1800s. Why? Mainstream archaeologists point to drought or climate shifts, citing sediment studies from the Tonle Sap Lake showing water shortages. Others suggest invasions, perhaps by the Thai or internal revolts. But for a civilization this advanced, that feels too convenient, doesn't it? LiDAR scans, lasers that strip away jungle cover, revealed Angkor was far larger than we ever imagined. Hidden suburbs, roads, and entire districts sprawl for miles, with complex urban planning rivaling modern cities. This was an empire's nerve center, not just a city. So why couldn't they outsmart a drought? And why did it take until 2010 for LiDAR to uncover this? Were early archaeologists incompetent, or were they told to stop digging? Posts on X point to suppressed reports from the 1900s, hinting that colonial powers knew Angkor's scale, but kept it quiet to control the narrative. And here's where it gets eerie. Angkor's star alignments mirror those of distant sites. Egypt's pyramids, Stonehenge, even Teotihuacan's Pyramid of the Sun. The Temple of Phnom Bakeng aligns with Orion's belt, just like Giza. Could the Khmer have tapped into a global network of ancient knowledge? Alternative researchers, like Graham Hancock, argue these alignments aren't coincidence but evidence of a lost civilization's legacy. So why does mainstream science dismiss this? Is it because the truth would rewrite history? Was Angkor's fall part of a larger, hidden cataclysm, erased from the record to keep us in the dark? Let's keep digging. Now let's travel to the Indian subcontinent, to the Indus Valley civilization, or Harappans, who ruled from 2600 to 1900 BCE. This wasn't just a society, it was a superpower. Stretching across modern-day India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan, it spanned 500,000 square miles and may have supported 5 million people. That's bigger than most modern nations. Cities like Harappa, Mohenjo-Daro, and Dholavira were urban miracles. Picture streets laid out in perfect grids, like New York. But 4,000 years ago, they had sewage systems, actual plumbing, when most of humanity was still wandering as nomads. Homes had private wells, baths, even toilets. At Dholavira, they built reservoirs with stone dams to capture rainwater, a system so advanced it could teach modern engineers a lesson. They traded with Mesopotamia, crafting jewelry so exquisite it could grace a modern runway, and used standardized weights so precise they screamed sophisticated society. But the biggest puzzle? Their writing. The Indus script, etched on thousands of seals and pottery, boasts over 400 symbols. Animals, geometric shapes, maybe letters. Some seals show unicorns or complex grids that hint at mathematical codes. And here's the kicker. We still can't read it. No Rosetta Stone, no deciphered code, just silence. A civilization this advanced and their voice is locked away forever. Around 1900 BCE, the Indus cities went quiet, empty, gone. Mainstream theories blame a drying river, the Sarasvati, identified as the Gagar Hakra by geologists, or shifting monsoons, backed by sediment data. Some suggest floods or a trade collapse with Mesopotamia. But here's where it gets strange. Seals from Lothal show symbols resembling binary patterns or astronomical charts. Alternative historians, like David Frawley, claim the Indus people had knowledge of astronomy or engineering that rivaled ancient Greece or Egypt. Excavations at Rocky Gari reveal skeletons with no signs of violence, debunking invasion myths. So why haven't we cracked their script? Is it too complex, or is someone not trying hard enough? For decades, the Aryan invasion theory claimed nomads overran the Indus, but DNA evidence from 2019 shows peaceful integration with local populations. Was that old theory pushed to diminish the Indus's achievements? And why do mainstream scholars avoid comparing their cities to Egypt's or Mesopotamia's? Posts on X suggest the script might reveal trade networks or even technologies that connect to a lost global civilization. Is it being ignored because it would turn history upside down? Let's cross the ocean to Central America, where the Maya reigned from 2000 BCE to the 1500s. These weren't just jungle dwellers, they were masters of time. Their pyramids, like those at Tikal and Chichen Itza, doubled as observatories, aligned to track the sun, moon, and Venus with mind-blowing precision. Their calendar? So accurate it predicted eclipses centuries out, down to the hour. Their writing? A complex script of glyphs weaving tales of kings, gods, and cosmic cycles, one of the only fully developed writing systems in the Americas. At their peak, around 600, 900 CE, the Maya built cities that housed tens of thousands, with bustling markets, ball courts where games were life or death, and temples that make you feel like an ant. Tikal alone had over 3,000 structures, from palaces to pyramids. But around 900 CE, their southern cities, like Tikal and Calakmul, went silent. The jungle reclaimed them, hiding them for centuries. Why? Archaeologists cite drought, backed by lake sediment cores from Lake Chichankanab, showing a 200-year dry spell. Deforestation and warfare, evidenced by fortified ruins, might have sealed their fate. But an entire civilization just gone? Here's the chilling part. The Mayas' knowledge was almost too advanced. Their long-count calendar tracks time across millennia, predicting cosmic events with eerie accuracy. Their observatory at Chichen Itza, El Caracol, mapped Venus's 584-day cycle to the day. Researchers like John Major Jenkins argue they inherited this from a lost mother culture, possibly wiped out by a global catastrophe. Mayan myths, like the Popol Vuh, speak of world-ending floods, fires, and rebirths, stories echoed in Sumerian, Hindu, and Polynesian tales. Coincidence? Now the cover-up angle. When the Spanish arrived in the 1500s, they burned thousands of Mayan books, calling them pagan nonsense. Only 4 codices, Dresden, Madrid, Paris, and Grolier, survived. What was in those lost texts? Advanced astronomy? Mathematical proofs? Or evidence of contact with other ancient cultures? The pyramids at Tikal share uncanny similarities with those in Egypt and Cambodia. Same 52-degree angles, same star alignments. Why does mainstream archaeology chalk it up to parallel evolution instead of exploring a connection? And why did northern Mayan cities like Chichen Itza thrive while the south collapsed? Was it just migration or a truth we're not meant to know? Now brace yourself for Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, a site that's flipping history on its head. Dated to 9,600 BCE, 12,000 years ago, this place predates the pyramids, Stonehenge, everything. Here's the shocker. It wasn't built by settled farmers or kings. It was built by hunter-gatherers. People we're told were just chasing animals with spears, somehow carved 20-ton T-shaped pillars, etched them with animals and symbols, and arranged them in perfect circles. These aren't just stones. The pillars depict lions, foxes, snakes, even humanoid figures, carved with precision that screams skill. Some align with Sirius and Orion, suggesting astronomical knowledge. But the real mindbender? Around 8000 BCE, the builders buried it. Not abandoned, deliberately covered with thousands of tons of dirt, hidden for millennia. Why? Mainstream archaeology labels Göbekli Tepe a temple, but there's no evidence anyone lived there. Some, like Graham Hancock, call it a knowledge hub, built by survivors of a lost Ice Age civilization. Its age aligns with the Younger Dryas, a climate disaster around 12,900 to 11,700 years ago, possibly triggered by a comet impact. Soil samples from North America show nanodiamonds, shocked quartz, and iridium, hallmarks of a cosmic collision. Could Göbekli Tepe be a monument to that catastrophe, or a library of lost wisdom? So why bury it? To protect it from enemies? To preserve it for a future generation? Or to hide knowledge too powerful for later civilizations? And why did it take until the 1990s to excavate it properly, despite being spotted in the 1960s? Voices on X claim mainstream archaeology stalls because Göbekli Tepe shatters their timeline. Hunter-gatherers building this? That's not in the history books. Is the slow pace due to funding, or a deliberate attempt to keep the truth buried? Let's sail to the middle of nowhere, Easter Island or Rapa Nui, one of the most isolated places on Earth. Around 700 CE, Polynesian voyagers settled here and did the impossible. They carved the moai, stone giants up to 33 feet tall, some weighing 80 tons. They didn't just carve them, they moved them miles across the island and stood them on platforms, staring out to sea like silent sentinels. How? No cranes, no wheels, just raw ingenuity. Experiments suggest they walked the moai with ropes, rocking them side to side, but the precision is staggering. The Rapa Nui, maybe 5,000 strong at their peak, pulled this off on an island with barely any resources. Their ancestors navigated thousands of miles of ocean, using stars and currents, landing here with pinpoint accuracy, guided by knowledge we can't fully replicate today. But by the 1720s, when Europeans arrived, the island was a shadow of itself. No trees, a dwindling population of under 2,000, and many moai toppled. Mainstream archaeology blames the Rapa Nui for overusing their resources, cutting down every palm tree, leading to starvation and clan wars. But is that story too tidy? Alternative researchers like those in Ancient Aliens point to anomalies. The moai's quarry at Rano Raraku shows tools, basalt picks that seem too advanced for a so-called primitive society. And sweet potatoes, a South American crop, were grown here before Columbus, dated to around 1000 CE by carbon analysis. Did the Rapa Nui sail 2,000 miles to South America, or did someone visit them? Stonework at Ahu Vinapu mirrors Peru's Tiwanaku, with interlocking blocks cut to perfection. Coincidence? Then there's the collapse. European diseases like smallpox likely devastated the population, but why the obsession with self-destruction? Oral traditions like the Rongorongo script, another undeciphered writing system, speak of a great wave or clan wars. Could a tsunami or a suppressed history of conflict hold the key? Why aren't we exploring these leads? Is it to avoid evidence of pre-Columbian contact or something bigger, like lost navigational knowledge that could rewrite Pacific history? Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. Why do these civilizations, Khmer, Indus, Maya, Göbekli Tepe, Rapa Nui, feel like pieces of a puzzle we're not allowed to solve? Each one left clues, star-aligned temples, undeciphered scripts, engineering feats that defy logic. Yet mainstream archaeology brushes it off with nothing to see here. Why? Take the Smithsonian. In the 1800s and early 1900s, rumors spread of artifacts, like giant skeletons from Ohio's mounds or strange copper tools, vanishing into their vaults. No hard proof, but the stories linger on X and in books like Forbidden Archaeology by Michael Cremo. Or look at the Antikythera mechanism, a 100 BCE computer from Greece that calculated planetary movements with gears so precise they rival 18th century clocks. Nothing like it existed for 1,000 years. Why call it a fluke instead of evidence of lost technology? Then there's underwater archaeology. Sites like India's Gulf of Kambat, dated to 9,000 years ago by carbon testing, show stone structures, walls, steps, grids that scream lost city. Yet they're dismissed as natural formations. Why? Flood myths, Atlantis, the deluge, the Great Flood, echo across every culture from Sumerian tablets to Aboriginal lore. Are we ignoring submerged evidence because it's too costly to explore? or too dangerous to accept? And don't get me started on the Piri race map, drawn in 1513 by an Ottoman admiral, showing Antarctica's coast centuries before its discovery in 1818. Its accuracy matches ice-penetrating radar of Antarctica's subglacial topography. How? Some say it's copied from older lost maps from a civilization with global reach. Mainstream scholars call it a lucky guess, but add it to the evidence. Angkor's alignments, the Maya's calendars, Göbekli's pillars, the moai's precision, and it's hard to believe it's all coincidence. Are these truths being locked away in archives, drowned under the sea, or dismissed to protect the status quo? Some call it academic gatekeeping. Careers built on old narratives can't handle disruption. Others, like Voices on X, hint at something darker, deliberate suppression. Why else is funding for sites like Göbekli Tepe or the Indus script so scarce? Why do alternative researchers like Graham Hancock face resistance when they ask to study these sites? If one artifact could rewrite history, would it be celebrated or buried? Step back and look at the bigger picture. Angkor's star temples, the Maya's cosmic clocks, Göbekli Tepe's ancient pillars, the Indus's silent script, the moai's stoic gaze. These civilizations, separated by oceans and millennia, share too many similarities. Pyramids, astronomy, flood myths, could they be threads of a single ancient tapestry woven by a lost mother culture? Alternative historians like Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson propose a civilization from the Ice Age, maybe 15,000 years ago, that spread knowledge before a cataclysm erased it. The Younger Dryas, 12,900 to 11,700 years ago, brought floods and chaos, possibly from a comet impact. Soil samples from North America and Greenland show nanodiamonds, shocked quartz, and iridium, hallmarks of a cosmic collision. Did survivors seed cultures from Egypt to Mesoamerica to Cambodia, passing down knowledge of the stars and stone? Mainstream science scoffs, parallel evolution, they say, but the similarities are uncanny. Why do megaliths, from Stonehenge to Japan's Yonaguni Monument, align with stars like Sirius? Why do flood myths persist globally? From the Epic of Gilgamesh to Polynesian legends to the Bible, why does archaeology resist a global theory? Is it lack of evidence or fear of what we'd uncover? Imagine a civilization that mapped the heavens, sailed the oceans, and built wonders we can't replicate. Now imagine it wiped out by a wave, a comet, or something deliberately hidden. What's the real story? We've journeyed from Cambodia's jungles to Easter Island's shores, unearthing civilizations that challenge everything we're taught. The Khmer's lost metropolis, the Indus's cryptic script, the Maya's star-bound calendars, Göbekli Tepe's buried pillars, the moai's silent watch, they all scream one question. What are we not being told? Were these societies linked by a forgotten past? Did a global cataclysm erase a mother culture? And why does it feel like the truth is buried, not by time but by choice? The answers are out there, waiting in the next excavation, the next scan, the next artifact that defies explanation. So what do you think? Are these lost civilizations proof of a hidden history, or just puzzles we'll solve someday? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And a quick note, some elements of this video may weave in fictional ideas to spark your imagination, but they're inspired by real archaeological mysteries. If this journey shook your world, smash that like button, subscribe to Historical Cover-Ups, and ring the bell for more dives into the secrets they don't want you to know. Share this with a friend who's ready to question everything. But don't stop here. Dive into our channel's playlists. Whether you're obsessed with ancient tech, forbidden archaeology, or global conspiracies, we've got videos to fuel your curiosity. From the enigmas of Atlantis to the mysteries of ancient Egypt, our playlists are packed with truths waiting to be uncovered. This is Historical Cover-Ups, signing off. Keep questioning, keep exploring, keep exposing the truth. Thanks for listening. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram for updates, and join our Patreon or Discord to connect with other truth seekers. See you next time!